Welcome back to News Around, the definitive sanctuary for those who seek the heartbeat behind the headlines. We are not here to merely skim the surface of the tabloids, we are here to excavate the emotional truths of the stars who define our screens and our imaginations. Today, we are opening the doors to a private event that was meant to be a celebration but transformed into a battlefield of whispers. We are taking you behind the velvet ropes of the dinner that caused a sensation on the set of the season's most anticipated phenomenon, Eşref Rüya. The cameras were flashing, the glasses were clinking, and the laughter of Turkey's elite actors filled the air. But amidst the glitz, there was a void, a silence loud enough to drown out the music. Demet Özdemir was missing. And standing in the center of that void was Çağatay Ulusoy, wearing a demeanor that some called arrogant and others called haunted. What really happened that night? Is there a cold war brewing between the giants of the industry, or is this the shadow of the characters they inhabit? Grab your coffee and settle in, because we are about to explain everything, one by one, from the whispered details in the kitchen to the viral theories that have set social media ablaze. But first, if you want to be part of the inner circle that gets the truth first, please subscribe and hit the bell. And for those who want to support our deep dive journalism, the join button is waiting for you below. Now, let's step into the night. In the high-stakes world of Turkish television, where image is everything and perception is currency, the pre-season dinner for Eşref Rüya was designed to be a show of force. Organized by the production giants at Turkish in a secluded, ultra-luxury venue overlooking the shimmering lights of the Bosphorus, this gathering was meant to serve a singular purpose: to unify the cast, to build the esprit de corps necessary for a long filming season, and, crucially, to signal to the world that the titans had aligned. This is standard industry practice, a ritual of bonding where team spirit is forged over mets and wine. However, the energy that night was anything but standard. It was electric, yes, but charged with a static tension that crackled in the air. While the rest of the cast posed for the waiting journalists, flashing practiced smiles and projecting camaraderie, the absence of Demet Özdemir created a vacuum that sucked the oxygen out of the room. Social media, the relentless watchdog of fame, noticed it instantly. As the first photos from the event began to trickle onto Instagram and Twitter, the narrative shifted from "look at this amazing cast" to "where is the queen?" Comments flooded the timeline. "Why isn't Demet here? Is she avoiding him?" And Çağatay is smiling, but his eyes look cold. What happened? The speculation was instantaneous and brutal. Was this a breakup of a professional partnership before it had even truly begun? Was it a protest? Or was it something far more personal? To understand the chaos, we must first dissect the excuses. In the first 24 hours following the dinner, the rumor mill churned out a dozen conflicting explanations, each more elaborate than the last. The official whispers suggested mundane reasons. Perhaps Demet was battling a sudden illness, a seasonal flu that keeps even stars in bed. Others claimed a scheduling conflict, citing a last-minute commercial photoshoot that ran overtime, trapping her in a studio across town. These are the safe, sanitized answers that PR teams love to deploy. But they failed to satisfy the hunger of the public, primarily because they contradicted the vibrant, tireless image Demet has cultivated. But one theory gained traction above all others, a theory that touches on the very ego of the actor. Has a rift opened up between Demet Özdemir and Çağatay Ulusoy? This speculation was fueled by a seemingly innocent interview Demet gave just last week. In it, she praised her co-star, stating, "Working with Çağatay is a great comfort in terms of discipline. He is an actor who protects both his own space and that of his partner very well." On the surface, these are words of high praise. But in the nuanced language of celebrity, where every syllable is dissected, fans noticed a certain sterility. It was distant politeness. There was admiration, yes, but no warmth. No anecdotes of shared laughter, no mention of friendship. It was the language of a colleague, not a partner. Her absence from the dinner seemed to confirm this hypothesis, that while she respects his discipline, she perhaps does not enjoy his company. The question hanging over the Bosphorus that night was, is this a professional chill that has turned into a personal freeze? Let us shift the spotlight to the man who was there. Çağatay Ulusoy. If Demet's absence was the spark, Kagate's presence was the fuel. He walked into the venue looking every inch the superstar, handsome, impeccably dressed, and undeniably commanding. He posed for the journalists, he exchanged pleasantries with his team, he raised a glass. But those who were watching closely, the crew members, the waiters, the keen-eyed observers, noticed a detail that did not make it into the glossy press releases. He was distant. This distance was not directed at anyone in particular, it was an aura he wore like a cloak. Team members whispered that Kagate was operating in observer mode, standing on the periphery of conversations rather than in the center. This was a stark departure from his reputation on previous sets, where he was often described as the heart of the social circle, cracking jokes with the lighting crew and sharing meals with the extras. This change in behavior sparked a new wave of theories. Did Kagate get too caught up in his role? Fans asked. His character in Eşref Rüya, Eşref Tek, is a dark, complex figure burdened by the underworld and a quest for a lost past. Did the darkness of Eşref bleed into the reality of Kagate? Or, as the darker corner of social media suggested, was it arrogance? Claims surfaced that Kagate only spoke to the elites at the table, the directors, the producers, and turned down requests for photos from the service staff. He's changed, they said. He thinks he's too big for this. However, we must be careful with such accusations. Other sources at the same table vehemently denied this, painting a picture not of arrogance, but of extreme professionalism. He isn't arrogant, on the contrary, he's very professional, one insider claimed. He just doesn't talk much in crowded environments when he is mentally preparing. It seems that Kagate's silence is a Rorschach test, you see in it what you want to believe. The perception of a distant couple did not begin at this dinner. It has been a slow-burning narrative that started the moment the first promotional materials for Eşref Rüya were released. Viewers, who are experts at reading body language, commented on a palpable cold feeling in the first teaser where the two posed together. Demet Özdemir is famous for her ability to generate instant, sizzling chemistry with her co-stars, she usually melts the screen. But with Kagate, the energy was different. It was controlled. It was guarded. It was respectful. This absence of easy intimacy fueled the claims of rivalry. The internet began to spin a tale of two alphas clashing for dominance. They are both at the top of the industry, this rivalry is normal, one user wrote, rationalizing the tension. Demet doesn't want to be overshadowed as much as Kagate in this project, and Kagate doesn't want to share the throne. Leaked details about the script added weight to this theory. It is rumored that Kagate's character, Eşref, drives the dramatic arc of the first season with a powerful, heavy storyline involving the yetimler, orphans, group, while Demet's character, Nisan, has a slow burn arc that only gains dominance in later episodes. Did this narrative imbalance create friction in the real world? Did Demet feel sidelined in the script, leading to her withdrawal from the social aspects of the production? This concept of script jealousy is fascinating. Do you think an actor as successful as Demet would be affected by the size of her role in the first few episodes, or is she playing the long game? We want to hear your analysis. Drop a comment below with your theory. Is it ego, or is it strategy? And if you're enjoying this investigation, hit the like button to help us reach more fans. Perhaps the most telling aspect of the entire night was Demet's reaction to the controversy, silence. In the age of Instagram stories, silence is a choice. Normally, when Demet Özdemir misses an event, she is the first to post a cheeky apology or a photo from her current location to quell rumors. She engages. But this time, she went dark. She chose to downplay a controversial issue by refusing to acknowledge it. Was this a silent message? A protest vote? Or was she simply tired? Sources close to Kagate suggest a different angle entirely. They claim that Kagate has indeed withdrawn into himself, adopting a method-acting approach to embody the loneliness of Eşref Tek. If he is projecting coldness, it is because his character is cold. If Demet is staying away, perhaps she is respecting that process, or perhaps she finds it exhausting to be around. It is entirely plausible that there is no hatred, only a clash of methodologies. Kagate is the introverted craftsman, building a wall to protect his character. Demet is the extroverted star, fueled by connection. When fire meets ice, you don't always get water, sometimes, you just get steam. So, what does this mean for the show? Ironically, this Cold War might be the best thing to happen to Eşref Rüya. Behind-the-scenes reports indicate that the relationship between Eşref and Nisan in the series is defined by tension, conflict, and a dangerous, reluctant attraction. They are not meant to be happy lovers. They are meant to be two forces colliding in the underworld. The atmosphere on set is described as serious and intense. If the actors are distant in real life, if there is a friction between them, it will likely translate into an electrifying tension on screen. The audience might be mistaking personal animosity for professional immersion. What is currently being branded as arrogance or distance could very well manifest as the most compelling chemistry of the year when episode 1 finally airs. The icy winds on set might just be the storm before the masterpiece. In the end, the dinner at the Bosphorus was a microcosm of the show itself, full of shadows, unanswered questions, and immense star power. Demet Özdemir's absence caused chaos. Çağatay Ulusoy's silence caused scrutiny. But perhaps that is exactly what they wanted. Two professional actors, two different working approaches, an audience with enormous expectations, and a social media machine ready to hype every detail. And what emerged was a massive trend that kept Eşref Rüya on the lips of everyone in Turkey. Are they friends? Maybe not. Are they rivals? Perhaps. But are they going to deliver a show that breaks records? Almost certainly. The empty chair at the table wasn't a sign of failure, it was a sign that the drama has already begun. And there you have it, the truth behind the dinner that shook the industry. It seems that on the set of Eşref Rüya, the line between reality and fiction is as blurred as the Bosphorus fog. We will be watching closely to see if this tension explodes or evolves when the cameras start rolling. What is your take? Are you Team Demet or Team Çağatay? Or are you just here for the drama? Let us know in the comments. We are News Around, and we exist to decode the stars. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And for our true insiders, remember that the join button is your VIP pass to our editorial room. Until next time, keep watching, and remember, sometimes, silence speaks the loudest.